Can I use my VA loan to purchase an investment property? Yes and no. Let's talk about how it would actually work. So VA loans are 100% intended to be used for primary residences. You're signing documentation at closing that it's going to be your primary residence and you will be living in it, and signing documentation that you'll be living in it for at least a year, similar to like an FHA loan. However, that doesn't mean there's not options to still be able to utilize that property as an investment property. Number one way to utilize your VA loan to also be able to use it for investment purposes is by purchasing a multi-unit property. So for example, you're purchasing a duplex, you are going to be living in one side of it. Part of it still has to be your primary residence. So you're living in one side, you can have a renter in the other side. And depending on what you can get for rent, that may be paying your entire mortgage, really just depends. But you can also offset the new mortgage with rental potential that's determined through an appraisal. That helps you qualify better as well. So that's number one way, is purchasing a multi-unit, planning to stay in it. You need to plan to stay in it for at least a year. The second way that is more typical is you already own a home with your VA benefit, so home, duplex, whatever it may be. You're gonna use your VA benefit again to purchase another primary residence for yourself and keep that other home. And then you can turn it into long-term rental, Airbnb, whatever you wanna do with it. Usually with your VA benefit, you have enough benefit there to purchase more than one home. And you don't always have to bring a down payment on the second home either, as long as you still got enough of your VA benefit and depending on the price point you're trying to buy in. That's the most typical way though. Again, you're gonna buy your next primary home, and if you can carry the mortgage on that other home as well and turn that into a rental. If you already have a lease for that home that you're vacating, we can utilize part of that. If not, which is more typical where you're gonna have to find someone to rent it, then we're gonna have to be able to qualify with both mortgages. That can be the tough part. But I have had many service members that had owned a home, they bought another primary, they turned the previous one into a rental. Tends to be very advantageous because most of the time you have a much lower interest rate on that home than if you were purchasing it outright as an investment property. And again, they typically don't have to bring a down payment on the second home yet either, because you usually still have enough VA benefit. If you start buying 3, 4, 5 houses with your VA benefit, you will eventually have to start bringing a down payment though, because you're not gonna have enough benefit. But that is the normal, legal, correct, right way to use your VA benefit to buy an investment home. What you cannot do, and no lender will let you do, is knowingly use your VA benefit to purchase and it's an investment property up front. It has to be your primary. You are signing documentation. It would be mortgage fraud if you try to purchase it knowing you're not going to live in it for at least a year or more as your primary. If you have any questions though, or want to talk about your options, let me know.